Darien Joe Gorcho, WIS. Just what does this award mean to you personally, especially with all you went through to get to this point, to be a Clemson Tiger and be part of the program like you have?
I legit have been bawling my eyes out the past 30 minutes. It hit me yesterday when Coach Sweeney told us. It was just the fact that I knew they had nominated me for a couple awards. I know how usually awards go. You have a semifinalist, you have all these things that kind of get released. I had no idea that I was up for this award. No idea. So this is a Monday practice. I'm just getting my mind right. I look like I'm just about to go to work. And then he's describing this award and just the names that come with it. Tim Tebow, who I've watched growing up. Mark Hersick, who we actually became another guy in my corner a couple years ago. He came and spoke to the team. We stayed in touch. And then the Alabama football team, the Iowa football team, and just hearing all the names and the stories that have been pretty much went with each year's award was just crazy. So I'm sitting there thinking, honestly, it was all right, well, they might give it to the team. They might give it to Trev, Dave Seville. Didn't think of myself. Because me and Travis were right beside each other. He was we were guessing names. And then when Coach said Darien Rencher, man, it was just crazy. I feel like God was giving me a big old hug. It's a lot that goes into it. I think it's the award is awesome. I think it's a culmination of so many moments. And that's what I feel the most. There's moments in life where you just feel like it reminds you that why you do stuff, that you're in the right place, that you're doing the right thing, that all the things that you went through, it's almost you gotta in order to get to heaven, you gotta go through hell sometimes. All the things you went through, some that you I controlled, some things I didn't control, but all the hard things were just, it was all worth it. And just the past, I finally got my emotions under control a little bit, but just the past 30 minutes, I've legit been crying, bawling my eyes out. Went and talked to Jeff Davis and Coach Elliott, just two guys in the building. And I haven't got a chance to see Coach Sweeney today, but just I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude, man. And you can't walk around every day just thanking everybody. It's gotta be weird, even though I do appreciate them on a daily basis. But just the past couple hours, man, just really hit me. Just how far I've come personally. I know the decisions I made to get here. I know what I had to overcome to get here. I know what it's been like being here, and just coming as a walk-on and just really having to believe in yourself before anybody else will believe in you. And then feeling the sense that my coaches actually started to believe in me. And then just seeing how guys orchestrate this entire year. It's incredible, man. And sometimes I feel like God's a comedian. In my own head, just how timely this award was. I'll share this. I really was going through, ironically, this is the most ironic thing about this award. I was actually going through a little bit of I feel like I wasn't, honestly, me and Coach Elliott, he's been a good voice in my ear to help me navigate through this, but just feel like I wasn't, in football terms, getting recognized, or I had high expectations, and you got to have high expectations or you'll never achieve anything. And just feeling those blows of just getting let down sometimes. And that just comes with the territory of just trying to be successful. It's you set goals, and sometimes they don't turn to what you want to in the short term. It can get to you. And just seeing how the timeliness of this award is just incredible. I don't know, it was just, God set me up for sure.
Who was the first call you made after you were told about the award, when you had a chance to get to your phone and make a call?
My parents. My dad actually called me. He checks in every night, especially when he's not working. But he called me, and he was the first one I kind of reached out to because we were on the phone, and I was telling him, I was like, "Hey, man, I got something crazy to tell you." And I told him, and he was just in tears. Then I called my mom. My mom was she works early at the hospital, so I called her 11 o'clock because Mondays are our late days. And I called her. I was like, "You sleep?" I was like, "Are you sleep?" I was like, "Because if you're not asleep," I was like, "I want to tell you something crazy." And I told her, she was like, "I can't even go back to sleep now." I called my girlfriend, and then I told my roommate, and then one of my mentors. And then throughout the day, I've kind of just reached out to different people. Those are the people I call first.
Darien, it's Trevor from CUTigers.com. Are your parents kind of beside themselves with all the notoriety that you've come to achieve? I know you've always believed in yourself and that you could rise to this level, but are your parents surprised at all by all of this?
Not at all. I feel like they thought it was going to be more this way than I did. And I feel like that's kind of sometimes common with people. My parents have, like, let's go this way. At first, I wouldn't say like they initially sold on everything. Like, my dad's always been the biggest supporter, and my mom has too. But then to see my belief through certain situations, like tearing my ACLs, like saying I'm gonna walk on at Clemson University when it's a top 5 program, and then earn a scholarship, it's gotten to the point now where like I still would doubt myself, but my parents, like, they think I could do anything. You know, and it's just like sometimes biased, but it's really good because like there'll be moments where I feel like I start to doubt like my purpose or doubt like me being here or doubt that it's gonna work out. My parents are at the point now where like you can do anything. And I'm still like, all right, well, we'll see. But they're like, no, you can do anything. Like none of this is shocking to me anymore, which is awesome to have in my corner, man, because like there's been times where I really needed them to just sometimes be biased parents and tell me it's all gonna work out. And I'm glad they did because it is working out.
What do you hope your lasting impact is on this program and your community, being a guy who's from the upstate?
Yeah, man, I think just helping people dream, helping people believe. There's countless examples of people of what not to do. And I hope I'm just another example for people to see what to do. Not a perfect example, but just a faithful example. And I feel like I've been surrounded by good men that have done the same for me. Because you live a little life, you get around people, and like nobody's perfect. Even the people that aren't there in the spotlight, like my coaches, some of the guys I play with, like nobody's perfect. But what you really want and what you really appreciate is somebody who's been faithful to what they feel like was on their heart, was on in their soul. Hopefully people see that with me, man. And hopefully it encourages them to do the right thing, to dream, to not give up, and be about the right things and try. And then when it doesn't go well, get back up and keep trying. It's not really just anything. I wouldn't want to be a perfect example, but just an example of faithfulness. Like I feel like that's what matters most in the end. Just the fact that if you don't quit, you'll win in the end in some form or fashion. And hopefully people can see also just man, that God like really does like come through. And so I think it's been a tough year, tough times. And I think that's what I think about this award. I was really thinking and reflecting. Is I think it's really cool that I won it in 2020, the most like chaotic year that I can ever remember. In college football, but also in the world, up to in my lifetime, and just to know that like I was the person that they saw fit to say was the most inspirational person in college football this year. That means the most to me. And I think if kids from back home, people I've grown up with, man, if they can just get a little more pep in their step to just say I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna believe whatever God's put in my heart, and hopefully from the young to the old, everybody just feels a little more encouraged from this. That's my goal going forward, and I think that's what's happening now. Just seeing that like the people are proud. And I feel like so many people have made investments in me, and I just want people to know like it didn't go in vain. Like I really took it to heart that you did something for me, or you looked out for me, you helped me get here. Hopefully, the fact that you see me live out my dream and like fight for a dream, I think that's what matters the most to me. That people know like it was worth it for them to make an investment, and it's worth it for other people that are chasing their dream to chase it.
Hey, Darien, it's David Hood with TigerNet. 2 questions for you. It's David Hood with TigerNet. First question would be, you kind of became Twitter famous early Saturday by not running down the hill. The absence was noted. Should we read anything into that? And then number 2, what do you want to do in life, when your football career is over? What's Darien Rencher's next plan?
Yeah, I think there's some wisdom and going with what the odds might tell you, but at the same time, I'm gonna bring a lot of clarity. I think a lot of guys will. The days that come of what will take place, and so yeah. And then the second question is what I want to do. I feel like I got a lot of ideas of what I want to do. I don't necessarily have like the idea of what it's gonna look like. I feel like there's like a highway, I don't know which exit I want to get off. I know where I'm going, and I feel like even this the way this has happened has like affirmed some things in me. Like I know I want to be around people. I know I want to help people. I think I love like the gift of communication, that you can like say something and you can be comfortable speaking and to the point where you can impart some encouragement to somebody else by you speaking some words and telling your story. I love being around the game. I just love there's so many life lessons and so many things that this game has taught me, and it's a big reason why I am who I am and why I am where I am. And then I love seeing people like just be encouraged in their faith as well. I'm not the one to be cringy about anything, but at the same time, I think when you really get around somebody else authentic, people have done for me, I feel like you realize like people are more than just, you know what I'm saying, shoulder pads and helmets or just like what they do, but people have soul, people are real people, and everybody's searching for something. If you got people that search for something, they get for the right things. I feel like that's something I find a lot of joy in, like people really becoming who they really are. And like, which for me is like, I feel like the biggest foundation is people finding their faith. For me, that's been in Jesus, and helping other people kind of navigate through that has been like a really just like a joyful thing for me to do. So I don't know. That's why, like, I got a lot of ideas. Man, I kind of like being in front of the camera sometimes. I like making business decisions. I like seeing things like projects come together. And so if I could do all those things, that's what I want to do, some form of fashion. And then I would love to make a nice living some way, somehow.
Hey, Darien, this is Todd in Spartanburg. What happened within you, and when did it happen that you thought a walk-on could come to Clemson and be a leader?
There's like so many stages to that question. I would say, I actually talked to like the mentor. I was saying he was the third person I called. This guy named Riley Cummins. Some people in Clemson might know him. He used to work in the equipment room here. But he's a pastor at the church I go to, but he's watched me grow up since I was like 15 or 16, but just been a steady voice in my life. Like never, another prime example, never won anything from me, but just, he's been proud of who I've become as a Clemson fan, a Clemson alum. But it was a moment. It was after my second ACL surgery. So that was my junior year. So I would have been either 16 or 17. And I was in bed. I was on bed rest for 2 weeks. After you have an ACL surgery, you can't really do anything. I was in bed rest in my mom's house, and a lot of people were bringing me free food, which is awesome at the time because I was bummed out. But like free food, not gonna turn it down. And I was like, I have had enough food for the day. I was like, bring me a milkshake. So he brought me a milkshake, and we were just sitting there. Like I don't know if you ever been around somebody who's like injured. You just kind of want to do anything that's gonna make them happy. And brought me a milkshake. We were just talking, and he asked me a question. And it was a question that's kind of floated around. Somebody asked him. He was like, "Hey, if the next 5 years could go, you couldn't fail. Like the next 5 years, they could go perfect. You couldn't fail. What would you do?" So I'm 16, 17. I was getting recruited, lost all my offers and interest. Just missed my entire junior season. And he asked me that, and I was like, "Man, if it could work out perfect, I want to play ball at Clemson. I want to walk on. So probably not gonna offer me. I want to walk on and earn a scholarship and do something like Tim Tebow-esque." Verbatim what I said. And to see 5 years later to legit win an award in the same sentence as Tim Tebow, for me is just, man, it feels surreal because this was my dream. And there's still more dream that I feel like is gonna play out, but this was to see it like be put in writing and put my name on it, like that. I feel like God like really just showed the world like what was in my heart and what he put in me. And so I would say early on, but then along the way, I just feel like I got little glimpses of affirmation along the way. Like off the top of my head, I remember all the freshmen go to Coach Sweeney's house, your first like kind of right after camp. And I remember Coach Sweeney knew about me, but they're just like, I'm walking on, you know what I'm saying? But I've been eager since I got here. I kind of asked him a question. I had a good camp as a walk on. Like, I mean, walk-ons, you want them to do well. You don't really expect anything from them. So if they do well, it's like, hey, all right, well, this kid you might do something. And I had a good camp, and I asked him, I was like, hey, what would it take for me to be a leader and earn a scholarship one day? He was just like, earn the trust of your teammates and respect your teammates. He's like, earn and respect your coaches, just do the right thing. And like, I remember him telling me that. I was like, all right, that's what I'm gonna do. And since then, just along the way, I've had like just moments that just encouraged me to keep going. But I feel like it was just in me, like, I feel like my faith has played a big part. Like I feel like I wanted to be a light in this environment, and I wanted to be authentic in this environment, and I wanted to show love. And I feel like those things have like proven true, like tried and true. If you do those things, like you'll make a difference no matter where you're at on the totem pole, and no matter where you are in life or the environment. It's just like I feel like all those things will show to add value to the place, and people appreciate it, and you'll be. Like it's rare for people to embody those things. So I would say, I don't know if I answered your question, but yeah, I think just coming in, I had that belief and dream, And then just along the way, I've been discouraged to not do that, but then also been encouraged, and I'm glad I stuck with it.
Anything else for Darien? All right, with that, thank you, Darien. Congratulations.
Appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good one.